Okay, I know I mentioned that I was going to try to do a movie vlog for Nobody 2. Sadly, I did not film a movie vlog for Nobody 2, but I'm now just realizing that, oh, I actually could have done a movie vlog to make it at least entertaining. It would have been a short one, but it would have been me going to the theater, then purchasing a shirt and a Funko Pop, specifically Bucky Barnes as the Winter Soldier, as I couldn't help but get those two items in celebration of Thunderbolts finally coming to Disney Plus on August 27th. But what could have made it entertaining was me acting like SpongeBob in that one episode where he's like, I don't need it, I don't need it, I definitely don't need it. And what is it I'm referring about that I don't need? I could not resist getting this thing. I could have waited till September since I know they're re-releasing the original Sam Raimi trilogy, which I do plan on making movie vlogs, by the way, even though I have already made movie vlogs of them when Spider Mondays was a thing. But yeah, I was planning on getting this in September, but I couldn't help it. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. I just had to get this. I'm a massive Spider-Man fan. Also, I've now come to realize how great Spider-Man 2 is now being older. As of last year, since I had that realization. But since LEGO has remade one of their old LEGO sets, because there is another version of this, because they have made one back when the movie was coming out. I need them to make more LEGO sets of the Sam Raimi trilogy, but also the Andrew Garfield movies. Come on, give my boy Andrew some love. But more importantly, I need Funko to make Funko Pops of both Tobey Maguire's films and Andrew Garfield films. Because I badly would like to have a Funko Pop of Sam Raimi's Black Spider-Man suit. Also, I won't be opening this until Spider-Man 2 comes out, as I will cover a movie vlog of me trying to build that. Plus, I did purchase a Sam Raimi Spider-Man costume that I'll be wearing for the first two movies, since I already have one of the Sam Raimi costumes, and that would be the black suit one for Spider-Man 3. I mainly wore my mask last year, but this time, I shall wear the whole damn thing. Okay, now with that out of the way, let's go on with the topic of this video, shall we? So, two main reasons why I couldn't film a movie vlog for Nobody 2. One, I couldn't think of an idea to make it entertaining because I like to make my movie vlogs entertaining. But most of all, storage issues. As for the re-release of the Raimi trilogy, I know that not only do I have the movies, but can watch them on Disney Plus, and have already seen them in theaters. I'm still going to rewatch them in theaters because not only am I a massive fan of Spider-Man, but I grew up watching the Raimi trilogy! Hello everyone, welcome back to another double movie review on the channel. So, about 3 years ago, I had made a movie reaction on Nobody. I had heard about it, but never did it caught my interest until I decided, you know what? I'm gonna give this a watch. And the last time I had watched the first movie was 3 years ago, around November 2022, as I checked on Letterboxd. But as of right now, I have seen the first movie twice. The first time I gave it like a 10 out of 10. Now rewatching it, my rating has died down a bit, but I do still enjoy this movie. But yeah, not only am I going to be talking about my thoughts on the first movie, as I meant to do a review on Nobody since I covered a movie reaction, but since we have Nobody 2 now playing in theaters, perfect timing to do another double movie review on the channel, as the last double movie review I've done was Freakier Friday. Now, I will try to make this at least 15 minutes long, since there's not much to discuss, because I'm surprised of how short these movies are with a runtime of like an hour and 30 minutes. So yeah, with that being said, let's discuss my thoughts on Nobody. So yeah, Nobody had came out around March 2021, and I didn't check it out until like a year later. And once I checked it out, I ended up enjoying this movie a lot. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the first time I watched it, I gave it like a 10 out of 10. Rewatching it now, my rating has gone to an 8 out of 10. But I still enjoy watching Nobody, as it's a solid action movie. The main premise of this movie is that Hutch is kind of a retired hitman or assassin. I don't know which is the right word to use, but basically he did a lot of killing back then. But then he decided to settle down and have a family of his own. And he's been enjoying that until he messed around with a couple of Russians who, I guess that is probably what's going to hold the movie back for me, because of a kind of a cliche trope I have already seen. I don't know which other movie. I don't want to say John Wick unless... Wait, did the first John Wick movie involve Russians? I don't know, but I guess that's one of my nitpicks with the movie, is the villain. Villain's kinda meh, or generic a bit. But yeah, he whooped his brother's ass on a transfer bus, and now he wants to get payback on Hutch, where they try to kill him in his own home, but they shouldn't be messing with this guy, because he may be old and a family man, but he's still gonna you up. And that's a quote that he says in the movie.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
I really like this actor, and I would say my introduction to him as an actor was in Nobody, but technically, my actual introduction to him was in an animated movie called Incredibles 2, because he was voicing one of the characters in that movie. But yeah, he's famously known for playing a lawyer called Saul in Better Call Saul, a series I have not seen that is part of the Breaking Bad universe, which I have also not seen Breaking Bad, but I plan on watching it some point. It's on my watch list. But yeah, this movie honestly has a simple story, but if you're an action junkie, you will enjoy watching Nobody, because the action in here is badass to watch. Which, I'm starting to think that the first John Wick movie has set a standard for, like, any action movie, and that would be, oh, it must have badass John Wick action. Because this would be a thing I would start to see in a couple of different action movies, where any different action movie must have a similarity to the action to the John Wick films. But if I had to describe Nobody, let's just say it's a mix of the action of John Wick and Home Alone. No, seriously, there's like a Home Alone type sequence by the third act of the movie, which I really enjoyed, where we see Hutch and his brother, along with father, played by Christopher Lloyd, who plays Doc in the Back to the Future films, all team up and set Home Alone booby traps around this building that Hutch bought from his boss, and take down a bunch of Russians because they all wanted to kill Hutch for him burning up the op shop that had a shitload of money. But overall, I'd say Nobody has a simple story, but with badass action sequences, as I think the action will really carry this movie for you. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm giving this a solid 8 out of 10. I had fun with it, and yeah, I didn't think we'd end up getting a sequel, but here we are now with Nobody 2. As it's been 4 years since the last movie, and this time, Hutch would like to take a break from all the chitty chitty bang bang, and take his family out on a nice little vacation and make great memories. Except there's a little catch at where they're heading at for this movie. Turns out this Plumberville, or Plumbertown, or whatever it's called in the movie, there's a bunch of shady people in this town, specifically with cops, led by Talking Tom in this movie. And by Talking Tom, I'm referring to Colin Hanks, who would be Tom Hanks' son, but is also the voice actor of Talking Tom and Talking Tom and Friends.
There's no way you were just some family man.
Are you ready? I hope you're ready, because I am definitely ready. What am I ready for? I'll tell you what I'm ready for. I'm ready for you TV producers to give me my own show.
Oh my god, Talking Tom and Friends is 10 years old as of now. I gotta do a serious review. And speaking about Talking Tom, I just heard him drop the F-bomb in this movie! Damn! But Colin Hanks is not the main villain for this movie. Who's really the main villain is this batshit crazy lady who I cannot remember her name at the moment. But the main villain for Nobody 2, I actually like a lot more than the last villain from the first Nobody movie. But I mean it when I said it, she is batshit crazy in this movie. But hey, at least she's a fun villain to watch on screen. But what are my thoughts with Nobody 2? I think I prefer this over the first movie. Now, even though this movie has another simple story, I like the idea of them going on vacation. And I think that's probably the main reason why I enjoyed this movie a lot more than the first one. Nothing against the first one. The first one is great. But I would kind of prefer this over the first movie. And since I described this movie as a mixture of the action for John Wick and Home Alone, yeah, the third act of this movie was so much fun to watch on screen. Because you want to know where they set up the booby traps? At a goddamn water park. Well, it's sort of a water park. And of course, the action is badass in this movie. But quick question, what is Hutch's habit on wanting to burn a shitload of cash? Because he did it in the first movie, and he ended up doing it again by the second film. But one last positive I will add about both Nobody movies is the relationship between Hutch and his wife. Which I'm surprised she's still sticking around, because I figured that she would have wanted to leave her husband knowing that he's a bit of a crazy lunatic. But she loves him and has a little badass moment by the end of this movie. So overall, I had a blast with Nobody 2. If I had to give it a rating, I think a solid 8.5 will do. But besides the badass action carrying these movies, you'll mainly enjoy Bob Odenkirk in these movies, because he's such a badass to watch on screen. And with that being said, those are just my quick thoughts on both Nobody movies. There's not much to talk about other than that it's got badass action sequences. Bob Odenkirk is badass. And yeah, Nobody is a fun action series. And if they end up making a third movie, I will be there. I may not have watched the first movie in theaters, but I'm glad to have caught the second one in theaters. So if you have seen both movies, be sure to let me know your thoughts, comments down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, I'll see you on the next double movie review. Peace out.